You are live. Hey folks, welcome to the Kindness Files. This is episode 2. I'm your host, Gina and Werner, founder of Kind2. Our goal with this podcast is to compound kindness by having and celebrating kind conversations, and also to spread a bit of joy with fond memories and connecting human beings together. We'll be talking to some humans that have shaped my life, and we will be dropping a new episode weekly. Here is our second guest. This is Werner Schmidt. Really quick intro into how Werner and I met. So we met in London on my first or second day on a client that we both used to work at before a conference. Werner is from South Africa, and that's where he is now. I love speaking to people all over the world. This is super exciting for me. And I feel like you changed my life with one of the first conversations we had. You were so kind to me, and I have a tendency to waffle on about nothing and don't really come to a point. And even though you didn't know me, you held that space for me to be like, I don't know what I'm doing. And it was just, I feel like we instantly clicked as humans. So we live in different countries and have walked completely different paths. And I'm so proud that you are my friend. So thank you very much. And thanks for joining me today. So
that's an absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
Yay, me too.
I think it's been 2 years now that we've
Yeah. So it's
chatting WhatsApp and video calls. Yeah, I think it's 2 years.
Yeah. It will be nearly. So it's my 2-year anniversary at the company that we used to work at together. It's my 2-year anniversary in a couple of days. Yeah. So it's pretty cool, I think.
That is cool. It's great when you can maintain friendships across continents, because it's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't see people. It's difficult to maintain friendships. So I think we did a good thing. High five.
I think so too. High five. So today we're going to talk about what kindness means to you. And I know I've pre-sent you the questions. And I think notes are really helpful for these kind of things. So thank you for doing some prep. And we're going to explore some kind moments in your life. Can't wait to get started. So
let's do it.
Question number 1. What does kindness mean to you?
Instead of saying the normal stuff, the thing that I find is the most defining of kindness is acknowledgement. It's a really big part of kindness to me. Acknowledging people, the things they do, even if it's like really small things, like thanking a cashier for being friendly. That's a token of kindness that makes a difference in someone's life. And it might be small, but it's those small little things that add up. I mean, not everything has to be a grand gesture, but acknowledgement that humans exist and that they've done something good, or they've done something impressive, or they've done something that's helped you is what I see as a very strong form of kindness. And that's what it means to me, is starting with acknowledgement.
And also the kind of, I guess, the grain of sand thing. You pick up one grain of sand on a beach, but if you add a few of them together, you've got a sandy beach. It all starts with one thing, and that's where the name of Kind2 came from. It's around compounding kindness. So if the conversation we have today, pushes another 2 people to have another kind conversation, that's 4 people, which goes to 8, etc., etc. Question number 2. I don't know why I'm doing this. It's how I'm feeling right now. Is to just make the numbers make a peace sign with my finger. Can you tell me about a time where you remember an act of kindness and why it stuck with you?
It's gonna be weird because the people who were involved in the act technically didn't even understand that kindness existed because they were too small.
Okay.
So I got a video from my daughter's school when she was about 2. So she could walk, and that was fine. And there was the classes are a little mixed. So you've got younger and older kids, but they're sort of in the same group. So they move along like a school of fish. And I got a video of my daughter helping another child stand up. And that's a big part of learning how to walk, is just sort of helping you stand up. So normally kids will just crawl up on a wall or stand on a box. But I found it impressive from the perspective that a child went to another child, put their hands out and helped them to get to a standing point. And without being funny about it, what makes it memorable to me, because this is many years ago, is that my daughter is obviously Caucasian, but the child that she helped was not. And that to me was beautiful because it completely transcended this whole weird line of different people from different backgrounds. It was just a pure act of kindness that they didn't even know that they were doing. And that's the thing that stuck with me the most, is that specific thing. It was
It sounds
beautiful.
really beautiful. I feel like a little bit tearful just to, I've met your daughter on camera, and she is a wonderful,
Yeah,
wonderful little human,
she's
and
a sweetie pie.
I can imagine it happening, and oh, glorious! What a glorious kid.
That's beautiful. That's the one thing that's always stuck with me. I mean, there's been many, but that one really, when I saw the question, I was like, that's the one I want to share.
Yeah. And what are you most thankful for?
I have a very weird gift, or the universe smiles on me. I am extremely thankful for the ability to make time. I can find time for people. I don't know how. It just happens. Spots just magically open up in my calendar. Plans get cancelled, and I suddenly have time to help someone. And that's what I'm most thankful for, is I don't have to be exceptionally frugal with my time. I'm not avoiding my family by helping other people. It never happens that way. I just have time. I'm extremely thankful for that, because I can invest it in things and people and doing cool stuff. So that's what I'm most thankful for, is the fact that I have time, and many people that I know will make time for other people. And it's that act of spending time with someone that I am extremely thankful for, that that's still happening. Yeah, I'm thankful for the ability to make time.
I think it's also, it might come across as like a network effect as well, of you giving your time to somebody, even though they don't know, like, I don't know, you could have changed something in your calendar, and then hopefully they will then find the same sort of thing to give time to somebody else. And I think it goes back to that the little things actually
Yeah,
make really big differences and have this snowball effect. And kindness and thankfulness, I think, is really one of them.
it's interesting because acts of kindness speak far louder than words. And that's what this is about. I mean, when you make time for someone, hopefully they understand that time is valuable, and they experience it that way. And without having to prompt them, hopefully they will learn that behavior, and they will start doing it to other people. And then you get this chain effect of people just making time and listening and helping. It's really cool.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too.
Hmm.
What brings you most joy in life?
Well, again, I obviously have a family, and they bring me a tremendous amount of joy, but that's not comparable to the things that stimulate me in a way that makes me happy. And what makes me happy is solving problems. I like solving problems that are not part of my day job. Um, like reviewing someone's book. I have reviewed a sci-fi book probably 6 or 7 times over the last couple of years. It's just spending time on stuff like that. It's something that I enjoy, and it brings me real joy because it's completely outside of the norm for me. And it helps me to experience different things and different aspects. I recently helped a friend of mine who's in the medical industry. I have no medical background, but it was cool to get involved because it allowed my mind to expand to a space where it's never actually been before. So the thing that brings me personally a lot of joy is when I get to put my brain into places that's not part of my day job. That really gives me a lot of joy.
Like a thirst for learning and solving problems and equations that aren't necessarily
Yeah,
mathematical things written on a wall.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. What would
Hmm.
you do if you, this question, I think I need to change it because it doesn't roll off the tongue. If you knew you couldn't fail at something, what would you do if you could do anything?
So that's the question to ask. If you knew you couldn't fail, right? Because that's what everyone struggles with, is uncertainty. Like, is this going to work? I mean, you know this better than most people. The funny thing is, my very first job, paying job, was to be a lecturer. I used to lecture at a private university, and that to date has been personally one of the most fulfilling jobs I've ever done, is shaping young minds and getting to experience the joy of somebody actually getting something for the first time. and being part of that learning process and watching their brains sort of expand and go, wow, I get this. So if I knew I couldn't fail, I would, this is a lofty expectations. I would love to revamp the education system because it's broken. It is so broken. But I don't just want to revamp it from a process perspective. I want to be on the ground. So I literally want to design and execute. I want to be there trying to make sure this works. That is something that I would do. Because let's be honest here, money is important, right? So if I knew I couldn't fail, revamping the education system is probably going to be pretty profitable. But I think beyond that, having the experience of getting back into education, I think would make me an exceptionally happy human. And that is something that I would do. If I knew I couldn't fail, I would revamp the education system, like proper.
Oh, that would be cool. Maybe it's something we could do together for 2 different countries, 2 different education systems.
It has to start somewhere, right? It has to start somewhere.
It absolutely does. It absolutely does. And I have 2 questions left for you. The penultimate question is, when was the last time you did something for the first time?
So this question made me think and then made me realize that I have a serious problem. I can't remember the last time I did anything for the first time, except for the birth of my daughter, which is quite a few years ago, which means since then, I haven't done anything memorable that I could put down as this question. So becoming a parent was the first time, and is the thing that I've tried it for the first time, right? And I had a discussion this morning with someone else specifically around this question. It was like, well, this is a problem because the human existence needs experiences. You have to experience new things, or otherwise you get bored and you go insane. So not only has this question put me into a bit of a, oh no, but it's now also put me into a space where, like, I have to go and find something. I need to go and find something to do. It doesn't have to be grand. Go do something. It doesn't really matter what it is. Definitely not going to go skydiving, but I could do something else.
That's fair.
But yeah, it was a great question. It made me think and realize that, wow, I haven't been doing new things enough. It was very cool.
I think as adults, we can become so unintentionally consumed with our jobs and our lives, and trying something for the first time can be quite scary, but also really rewarding. And it doesn't have, like you said, it doesn't have to be grand. It doesn't have to be big. I used a country cooker for the first time over the last couple of weeks, and I cooked an egg on a country cooker, which is kind of cool because you put this sheet, like waxed paper, on the hob, crack the egg onto the wax paper, and then you close the lid, and then it cooks an egg. And I was thinking about this egg cooking, and I kept checking it, thinking, oh.
Why is okay? I've never cooked an egg on wax paper.
Yeah, it was cool. I was very happy about it. So that's the last time I did something for the first time, and it's a really small thing. Frying an egg.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be grand.
No.
It can be something really small, like cooking an egg on wax paper.
Yeah, I love eggs.
Cool.
Oh, I love eggs. They're so good.
Eggs are very good for you.
They are so good for you and delicious. I have one final question for you. If you could write a kind note to a stranger, what would you write? So I know you've had some time to pop it on a post-it note. This is a bit of an art attack thing. Here's one I've done before.
But my handwriting is terrible, but it's really important that you know that your voice matters. It really does. Your voice does matter.
Absolutely.
So
and in a small space, in a big space, and if in that moment where you feel like your voice doesn't matter, there is one other person that you can speak to, because your voice absolutely does matter.
And a really cool thing, a really small cool thing you can do as a human is to create the space for somebody's voice to come out, which a lot of times is difficult for a lot of people to do, but just creating that small little gap of safety and saying, it's okay, you can talk. Even if it's just me listening, that's fine. But yeah, your voice matters. It's important.
And that's also something that I found that you do very well is to create that space for other people, that they feel heard and they feel safe to share things with you or with other people. So thank you for that.
Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Get it?
These are all my questions. It's been an absolute pleasure, Werner. Thank you so much for joining me. And
Thanks
I
for
hope you've
having me.
enjoyed this, folks. And yeah, join us next week for a mystery guest. And I know, how exciting, for more kind conversations. So have a great day, folks. I'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.